I'm going to start off by asking you the same question that I ask everybody who comes on the show. And that question is, what is your evolution of race consciousness? That is, when did you first understand there was this thing called racial hierarchy? Maybe not even what it was called, but that it existed, right? And that people were kind of ranked based on their skin color within this hierarchy, and that ranking could lead to manifestations of people experiencing different life experiences and ways of living, and that the consequences of where you were ranked were different for various people based on how they were racialized. And how did your understanding of all of that begin and then change over the course of your life?
Okay. So I would say that when I really got what you're talking about, the idea of a hierarchy existing, when I got that wasn't too long ago that I got that. I got a whiff of it when I was maybe in my late teens, and somebody pointed out that Band-Aids only come in white people's skin colors, and same for baby dolls. And that clued me into what is that like for people who aren't white to be like not normal according to people who make band-aids. I mean, according to the grocery store, like it clued me into that must be some kind of different experience from what I have and not a welcoming one. I didn't think about there being a hierarchy, but I can see that it's there in retrospect. The hierarchy aspect came much more recently as I've been having a lot of conversations about race. I didn't grow up around people who were overtly racist. I grew up with a lot of people who thought it was bad to be overtly racist and said so. At the same time, someone or other told me about race when I was a little boy. And I remember, I've been thinking about this recently leading up to this conversation. I remember that there were at least 4 kids, and I'm sure we'll get into this later. I like how you call people racialized white and racialized black. Still, it sounds a little awkward to me. I'm not used to it, but I do think I like the accuracy of it a lot. So I'm going to speak as my 7-year-old self and not use racialized black. So there were at least 5 black kids that I remember in my elementary school. And we had a very small elementary school. There were like 20, 25 of us in each grade level. And we all went through the same classes together. There's only one class in each grade. And reflecting on it today, I recall that if I didn't like one of the kids, I felt like I gave myself permission to make it because they were black. And I also had this sort of curiosity about black people in a way that I didn't have about white people. Like I was trying to figure something out. And the kids, those 5 kids are very different from one another. In all ways. Like, I think I must have gotten skin color was important. One of the kids was very light skinned, and found her annoying. And there was another kid who was dark skinned, and he was always like, our 3rd grade teacher had this policy of if anyone misbehaves, then the whole class doesn't get to go to recess. And Jeffrey was always causing that to happen. So I really didn't like Jeffrey.
Freaking
But
Jeffrey, man.
something stuck in my head and made it like his blackness involved with that I didn't like him. And something about Feel weird using their names. Do you think that's okay?
I think it's probably
Privacy
fine,
issue.
yeah.
Okay, because so yeah, I see got on my nerves, and like she was real challenging, and like to poke fun at people. And there's a level to which I made that about her being black too. And then Chris was a friend of mine. I'd go over to his house, we'd play Nintendo, and his mom would bring us snacks and stuff, and it was awesome. And reflecting on him, I didn't have that same like what is black thing. He was just a friend. And Chantel, I didn't interact with much. I thought she was pretty, and she was real quiet, and so I didn't have as much of this like thought about, is she black, is she not black. But overall, I think, again, I gave myself this permission to be sort of like have a scientific approach to black people and myself and my interactions with black people in a way that I don't do the same. Like I do that anyway. I'm very much in like my magician archetype most of the time, like wondering, observing, detaching. And there's just another layer of that when it came to black people. And it still is, like that thing persists in me. As much as I want to learn more about how, live up to that being all made up and being imposed on everyone. It still like affects me most days.
Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support, and see you next time.